Also, fangen wir an. Heute hatte ich geplant, über das Thema Sprechen und Hören. Das heißt, we will listen to some conversations and we will also uh, talk to each other. So let me first share my screen, your entire screen. And now, before I start, just wanted to tell you some basics what we are going to do. I somehow got a hold of some books, some PDFs, wherein there were some audio also. So what exactly is happening is we will be doing a listening course today, and there are two people. One is Lisa and one is Paul. So most of the time they both will be interacting with each other. Maybe they will be greeting each other, or maybe just introducing or something like that. So one by one we will do some exercises, like I'll be playing an audio, and let's say if somebody can recognize it, and if somebody is able to do it, then the next time the other guy should be able to recognize it, right? Not only one person should be actively doing, everybody should be active here. Okay, so fangen wir an. Here is the erste Audio. So.
Liebe Lernerinnen, liebe Lerner, mit Deutsch üben, hören und sprechen A1 können Sie Ihr Hörverständnis und Ihre Sprechfertigkeit trainieren. Viel Spaß! Fangen wir an.
Everybody is able to listen to this audio?
Yes.
All right. No doubt, don't be afraid in case if you are unable to understand it fully or even partially. We will go step by step. So let me just play this audio once again, and I'll pause at times to explain you what he has said just now.
Liebe Lernerinnen, liebe Lerner.
Okay. So he said, liebe Lernerinnen, liebe Lerner, L-I-E-B-E, learner. So once again, as usual, as I told you in the first day as well, we have, let's say, student and then studentin. Likewise, we have learnerin and learner. That means those females who are learning, they are addressed as learnerin, and those males who are learning, they are known as learner, right? So it need not necessarily be only students. Learner can be anybody. Even a teacher who is teaching can be at times learning something from students as well. So it's a generic term. Anybody who is learning right now is learner. And if it's female, then it's learnerin, else learner. So what I expect you people is, I would rather request you that don't use Kopfhörers, that is your headphones. Try to do this listening practice only through your open ears, right? Because in case if you are in a marketplace, or if you are in a station or in a train, and you want to interact with somebody, so if you are too much tuned with headphones or earphones or something like that, which directly speaks out into your ears, then your ears are so sensitive to clarity that you won't be able to figure it out clearly when you are in an open place. So it's always suggested that try to listen with open ears, and if possible, try to avoid these Kopfhörers, that is headphones. Okay, gehen wir weiter. Noch einmal.
Liebe Lernerinnen, liebe Lerner, mit Deutsch üben, hören und sprechen A1.
Mit Deutsch üben, hören und sprechen A1. Das ist ganz, ganz einfach.
Können Sie Ihr Hörverständnis und Ihre Sprechfertigkeit trainieren.
One important thing to remember here, friends, is even somebody who is practicing German or learning German since 5 years cannot be always sure that he or she knows the complete German vocabulary. It's just next to impossible. So thereby, even if you are unable to pick up some words while it is being played, don't be stressed. Don't keep on thinking upon what he said just now. Instead, just go to the other word, switch over to the next sentence, or switch over to the other words that he or she has just played or spoke. So instead of stressing yourself for something which you don't know, any word which you cannot recognize, better skip it and go ahead. So like here also you probably have heard something which you could not understand at first instance.
A1. Können Sie Ihr Hörverständnis und Ihre Sprechfertigkeit trainieren?
Okay. Ihr Hörverständnis. Hörverständnis. So now this may be kind of a new word for you people, and this normally means understanding. Okay, and here is hören, that is listening. So listening, understanding. And then he also speaks about some Fähigkeit, I think. Let me check.
Viel Spaß! Fangen wir an. Ihr Hörverständnis und Ihre Sprechfertigkeit trainieren.
Ja, Sprechfähigkeit. Sprechfähigkeit. Sprech is to speak, and Fähigkeit is your capability, you can say. All right. So don't be too much stressed. At least in this stage, you should just try to understand what that guy is trying to convey you, instead of pointing over to each and every word or character that he just spoke. Okay, once again, I would request you to listen to it carefully.
Liebe Lernerinnen, liebe Lerner, mit Deutsch üben, hören und sprechen A1 können Sie Ihr Hörverständnis und Ihre Sprechfertigkeit trainieren. Viel Spaß! Fangen wir an.
Just to mention here, viel Spaß is another very, very common phrase. Viel Spaß. That is enjoy. Right? Or maybe viel Spaß literally means to enjoy the event or enjoy the whatever is coming up next. So it's a very simple word, a very common phrase. Okay, so just to revise, here we are going to talk about Lisa and Paul. In fact, they both will be interacting with each other. Interacting, and of course, moment. Interacting is equal to unterhalten. Unterhalten. So remember, unterhalten is another verb. Okay. Otherwise, a typical conversation, let's say conversation, that is बातचीत with somebody in between two people, is Gespräch. Okay. Okay. So one by one, we will be doing this audio class, and I expect everybody to participate equally. So let's start with number 2, audio number 2, that will correspond to 1A, Bitte hören Sie. So most likely that audio will start with Bitte hören Sie.
A. Begrüßung, Kontaktaufnahme, Herkunft. A. Übung 1. Lisa und Paul stellen sich vor. 1a.
Moment. Here started from A. Begrüßung, Kontaktaufnahme, Herkunft. Begrüßung bedeutet to greet somebody, greet each other. Moment. Yeah. So this means to greet somebody. Kontaktaufnahme is to understand the contact information of somebody. Normally it means to record a contact, but it could make some difference also. Herkunft is origin, you can say. Like we yesterday learned woher kommen Sie, something like that. So some information, it's like introduction of somebody. So we'll proceed now. I would rather play it from start.
A. Begrüßung, Kontaktaufnahme, Herkunft. A. Übung 1. Lisa und Paul stellen sich vor. 1a. Bitte hören Sie.
Hallo, ich bin Lisa. Ich bin 25 Jahre alt und ich wohne in München.
Hallo, ich bin Paul. Ich bin 27 Jahre alt. Ich wohne auch in München. Und wer sind Sie? Hallo, ich bin.
Okay. So, anybody was able to understand what was spoken just now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, one by one, only one sentence, one person, please tell. Anybody, please start.
Okay, so Lisa said that, hello, my name is Lisa.
Okay. Next
And
person.
then she told that she is 25 years old.
Ja, 25, ne? Genau.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she said, ich wohne in München. That means she
Yes.
lives in München.
Absolutely right. Somebody else? Shivan?
Ja, so Lisa ist 25 Jahre alt und Paul ist 27 Jahre alt. Und
Perfect.
beides leben in München.
Absolutely right. So, both stay in München and they told each other about their ages. Right. And of course, moment. Okay. Perfect. So, I would play it once again.
Hallo, ich bin.
Oh, moment. Ja.
A. Begrüßung, Kontaktaufnahme, Herkunft. A. Übung 1. Lisa und Paul stellen sich vor. 1a. Bitte hören Sie.
Hallo, ich bin Lisa. Ich bin 25 Jahre alt und ich wohne in München.
Hallo, ich bin Paul. Ich bin 27 Jahre alt. Ich wohne auch in München. Und wer sind Sie? Hallo, ich bin.
Okay.
Hallo, ich bin.
Okay, now this means that this author or this book is asking you. They are pointing their finger towards you and they are asking, Hallo, und wer sind Sie? So, how Arvid will tell who is he?
Hallo, ich bin Arvid. Ich bin 14 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Aachen.
Perfect. And then how Ishita will say?
Hallo, ich bin Ishita. Ich bin 12 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Pune.
Perfect. And how Karthik will say?
Hallo, ich bin Karthik und ich bin 12 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Berlin.
Perfect. And how Shivan will introduce?
Hallo, ich bin Shivendra. Ich bin 42 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Berlin.
Perfect. You begins. By the way, when we will be doing this exercise, so you need not tell the exact information. Huh? You can even give any of your virtual name, virtual age, virtual land, Anschrift, address, anything you can say. Just because, especially because this session is getting recorded and will be posted on YouTube as well, so that's not an important aspect. Also, gehen wir weiter. Nun gehen wir dritte Schritt. Das heißt, jetzt sind Sie dran. Now you are in. That is, you are on the track. Hören Sie und antworten Sie. Okay, gehen wir weiter mit dritte.
Jetzt sind Sie dran. Hören Sie und antworten Sie. 1b.
Hallo,
Hallo,
guten Morgen,
guten Morgen,
guten Tag,
guten Tag,
guten Abend,
guten Abend,
tschüss,
tschüss,
auf Wiedersehen.
auf Wiedersehen.
Okay, so das war ganz einfach. They only talked about these terms. Übrigens möchte ich hier erklären, Auf Wiedersehen is used to say bye in a very formal environment, right? For example, if you go to Rathaus or to Ausländer Behörde or people like these and you want to say goodbye to them, then you say Auf Wiedersehen. And in informal situations like we are doing a class or you are talking to your colleague or your friends, you normally say choose. I am confused. Choose. Yeah, something like this, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to salute somebody or wish somebody. So suppose if I were to meet my neighbor, Herr Schoenfeld, so I can say Good Morgen, Herr Schoenfeld, or I can say Guten Tag, Guten Abend, something like this. Na? So that is just to greet somebody. Also, if somebody says bye, like we did just now, choose or Auf Wiedersehen, this is known as Verabschieden. Verabschieden. That is to, you can say to go away. Suppose if somebody leaves a company and he's given a party, so that's a Verabschied party. Or maybe somebody goes for a long journey, or maybe like he's going out for some long time, then he's given kind of a farewell party. That's a Verabschied party. So the next one is ganz einfach. I will just play. Please have a look at it, and it should not be a big trouble.
Hören Sie weiter und antworten Sie. Schreiben Sie die Antwort. 1c.
Guten Morgen, Stefanie.
Guten Morgen, Stephanie.
Guten Tag, Herr Schönfeld.
Guten Abend, Frau Fuchs.
Auf Wiedersehen, Herr Lüneberg.
Tschüss. Bis morgen.
Guten Morgen, Leonardo.
Guten Tag, Frau Schäfer.
Hallo, Bettina.
Guten Abend, Herr Gürsoy.
Grüß Gott, Frau Reimann.
Okay. Das war ganz einfach. Now, when we go further, it's Lisa und Paul stellen sie sich vor. That is, they are going to introduce each other. So it's ganz einfach. Hallo, ich bin Lisa, ich bin 25 Jahre alt und wohne in München. That we have done already. And then it's something which is very easy to understand. It's not much. Now, this is Guten Tag, Guten Morgen, this alles blah blah blah. It's ganz einfach. इसमें कुछ करना नहीं है. Okay. Now, as I told you in starting only, that I want to make it more interactive today. So how are we going to proceed today is, we have 4 people. So one person assume this and one person is this. No names. Right? And this person is going to talk to this person. Right? Let's say it's person A and person B. So I would request everybody to do this. Maybe let's say Shivendra will introduce himself to, let's say, Karthik, and Ishita will introduce herself to Arvit, and then we will do the vice versa also, like this, and then Karthik will introduce to Shiven and Arvit will introduce to Ishita. So Shiven, can you please start and introduce yourselves to Karthik?
Hallo Karthik, ich bin Shivendra, ich bin Softwareentwickler, ich wohne in Berlin seit 10 Jahren und ja, das ist alles.
Yeah, das ist perfekt. Ja, nur eine Introduction, Einleitung. Perfekt. Karthik, kannst du bitte vorstellen, Shivendra?
Ja. Hallo, Herr Shivendra. Ich heiße Karthik. Ich wohne in Berlin und ich bin 12 Jahre alt und ich lerne Deutsch.
Perfect.
Gern gesehen. Kartik.
Sehr schön. Also, Ishita, kannst du einmal bitte vorstellen?
Hallo Arvid, ich bin Ishita. Ich bin 12 Jahre alt und ich wohne in Pune. Ich bin eine Studentin und ich lerne Deutsch und ich liebe Korbball und Tanzen.
Perfekt, 100% perfekt. Okay, Arvid?
Guten Tag, Ishita. Ich bin Arvid, ich bin 14 Jahre alt, ich wohne in Aachen, ich komme aus Indien, aber ich kann sprechen Deutsch, Spanisch und Englisch.
100% perfect. Okay, once again, a small 10 euro tip. When we say ich kann gut Deutsch sprechen, right? Or ich kann gut Spanisch sprechen, or ich kann gut Italienisch sprechen. Sprechen. So what happens, friends? Expression. There is one striking thing that you must always consider. We are talking about a Sprache, that is entweder Deutsch or Spanish or Italianisch. Now, when we are speaking or we are telling to somebody, we are only speaking out. No? We are using our mouth and conveying the message. So what happens? Only and only for languages, you can delete out expression. Simply. So you can say, ich kann gut Deutsch, ich kann gut Spanisch, ich kann gut Italienisch oder ich kann nicht oder kein Spanisch. Normally you will expect to say expression am end, that is because that's a verb that you have to use at the end to complete the sentence, but because you're talking only about language, and language it is but obvious that will be only gesprochen, that is man kann nur sprechen. Mindestens man unterhaltet durch Wörter oder durch mündlich, that is through mouth. So make sure ich kann gut Deutsch, that is itself sufficient. And now, suppose if I give you an example, ich kann gut zum Beispiel Klavier spielen. Right? Klavier bedeutet Piano. Okay, ich kann gut Klavier spielen. Now, again, here there is a huge difference. As I told you, verb has to be at the end to complete the sentence. Ich kann gut Klavier spielen. However, here you have to use spielen at all the times, or maybe whatever the verb may be. It's not like ich kann gut Klavier. That will make no sense at all. It's only with language that you can delete that expression word. Okay? Fragen dazu?
Nein.
Alles klar.
Nein.
I mean, it is like in a language you can only speak a language, but in an instrument you can play it, you can make it like that
Yes,
also.
you
And
are
you have a
absolutely
shop.
correct.
There are many possibilities.
That's right. You are absolutely right. In language, we can only speak it out, at least when we are talking to somebody. And for any other thing, for let's say, ich kann gut Fußball spielen. For those things, you have to use the verb at the end. But for language, you are waived out. You are free to omit that verb.
But actually, the language can be, let's say, you can teach, you can write, you can listen, you can speak,
Yeah. Du hast recht.
you can read.
Yeah. Du
So,
hast.
but this is correct, that this is the practice for whatever reason.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Mindestens, when somebody talks to somebody now, or maybe on radio, if you listen to somebody, they will only say ich kann gut Deutsch. And that is enough. So,
Yeah.
as I said, there is a quite a striking difference between a written language and a spoken language. Huh? And this is just one of that examples. Okay, nun geben Sie mir einen kurzen Moment. Ich muss meine Bildschirm ausschalten and I will be back in weniger als 1 Minute. Just a moment. Stop sharing. And then I would rather not take up some other activity for today. Just a kurz moment. Wo bin ich? Okay, I am back and I will share my build stream again. I want to take up a new topic now, and that is I hope you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so I want to take up a new topic today, and that is modal verbs. Now, what is this modal verbs? In a quick moment. Here, we have a set of verbs. These are just regular verbs who follow a fixed rule, but they are known as modal verbs, and they tell you something like some capabilities or some permissions or some situational verbs are these are. So können is actually can, literally can of English. I can swim. Ich kann schwimmen. I will tell you later on how it works out. Dürfen is permission. Now, dürfen is something that is not exactly there in English. It's something like, am I allowed to do something? Am I allowed to swim or am I allowed to dive in this swimming pool? That could be dürfen. Dürfen. Müssen is literally must. So that happens like, I must swim, I must learn, I must practice. That is your müssen. Mögen is like to. So if I would like to eat ice cream, so I will say mögen. Ich mag Eis zum Beispiel. Möchten. Möchten is I would like to. That is you are showing an intention. Now these two are quite similar to each other, but then again you probably would love to learn them separately. Wollen is want to. Now wollen is seems like the first form is ich will. Now and even the earliest form is will. So it becomes a little confusing at times. I'll give you many examples, then you'll be able to understand it better. And sollen is literally should. Okay, so should is typical should. I should study. I should drink water or anything like that. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 verbs, they are known as modal verbs. Modal, modal verbs. Okay, now a specialty in modal verbs. Modal verbs. Whenever we use modal verbs, there is a specialty. Like in English, I will say, I can swim, right? Or maybe he must drink water, right? So that is use of modal verbs in English. I can is this can is a modal verb. I must, he must is a modal verb. Must is modal verb. This is typical usage of modal verbs in English. However, if you convert them to German, I will show you. Ich kann schwimmen. And this becomes er muss Wasser trinken. Okay, so you probably must have noticed by now that the verb is pushed, verb is kicked to the end. I can, Entschuldigung, ich kann schwimmen. Ich kann schwimmen, if you see, this verb is schwimmen is kicked to the end. Er muss Wasser trinken. So here again, this trinken is kicked to the end. You can consider any other example. Let's say we should go now. So it becomes wir sollen nun gehen. Gehen is again pushed to the end. So what I want to point out here is, friends, whenever you are using any of these 7 verbs, sollen, müssen, muss, oder kann, that is, here it is kann, you make sure that the verb is kicked to the end. It's kind of a blanket rule. I don't think there is any exception to this rule. It has to kick to the end. Also here again, this photo, I would request you to please take a screenshot, because this is something that you will be referring many times. Give me a moment, I will clear it, and now you can take a screenshot. Okay, so this table you will be using so many times in life that you probably love to remember this by heart. Können. If we go by können only, so usage is like possibility, opportunity, or prohibition. The prohibition, like you cannot go there, du kannst dort nicht fahren, something like that. Meaning is to be able to, and then go by this conjugation. Ich kann, du kannst, sie es kann, wir können, ihr könnt, sie können. Now, if you go for others ones, dürfen, ich darf, du darfst, sie es darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie dürfen. I would request everybody one by one. So maybe Ishita can start with this one. Ishita, can you please do the conjugation of können?
Okay. Ich kann, du kannst, sie kann, wir können, ihr könnt, sie können.
Yes, perfect. Aravid?
Okay. Ich darf, du darfst, sie es darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie dürfen.
Ja, ihr dürft. Okay, Shiven?
Ihr dürft.
Ja, ihr dürft.
Ich muss, du musst, sie es muss, wir müssen,
Ja.
ihr müsst, sie müssen.
Perfect. Karthik?
Ich mag, du magst, sie es mag, wir mögen, ihr mögt, sie mögen.
Perfect. Ishita?
Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie möchte, wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie möchten.
Perfect. Aravid?
Yes. Ich soll, du sollst, sie es soll, wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen.
Okay. Karthik, can you try this wollen?
Yes. Ich will, du willst, sie es will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen.
Perfect. Also, now I would like to point out one striking difference. Kanzler will in in USA UK fahren. Right now, this or similar line will be very common if you read the newspapers. Somebody wants to do something. Kanzler bedeutet Chancellor, will in UK fahren. Now, if you go by English language, then most likely you will be considering like Chancellor will be traveling to UK, right? Because will is very common word in English, but in German it becomes want to, as you can see from here. It comes from wollen, hier bin ich, and here kommt, yeah, RGS, right? So if I'm talking about somebody, if there is a news on the newspaper and it mentions somebody, then it will be something like he wants to travel to some place, right? Or maybe I myself might say, ich will schwimmen. So this means I want to swim, right? It does not say that I will be swimming or I want to do something in future. It's absolutely nothing like that. So make sure, friends, whenever you see will, you are going to consider want only, right? And not anything to do with future. Okay, so a simple exercise that I have planned for now is I will give you some sentences and I would request everybody to tell me which modal verb can I use here, right? For your instance, for your help, these are the modal verbs: können, dürfen, müssen, mögen, möchten, wollen und sollen. So, erste Frage. Entschuldigung. अरे क्या हो रहा है? This mouse is not working. कुछ moment बेटे. Yeah. He must take medicine. Think upon it, friends. इसमें क्या use होना चाहिए? For your help. Just tell me the verb form, right?
Müssen.
Müssen.
Er muss.
See, we are talking about he, so it becomes er, right? And you are absolutely right. We have to use the müssen. But as I said, I would like to know the exact form of the verb, which should be used here.
Muss.
So, yes.
Muss.
So it becomes er muss, right? So this one comes up. Here it is. Perfect. You are not allowed to run. So you are not allowed to run, right? Think upon it. Which one should I use?
Du darfst.
Darfst. Perfect. Now I would request to give others also a chance the
Yeah.
next time. Now, one person, one answer only. Then he would like to eat banana. Right? Think upon it. He would like to eat banana.
Möchte.
Möchtest.
Möchte. Right? Ishita, you are telling this one or some other option?
No, I was saying möchte.
Yes, perfect. Right? So, here it becomes like to becomes möchte. Right? And then there is a small difference. I would request Shiven to participate this time. Number 4, I like banana. Right? So consider this and just give a try कि ये क्या होना चाहिए. I like banana में क्या आना चाहिए, right?
Is mug banana?
Yes, perfect. 100% perfect. So friends, I would like to focus upon these two things which are quite similar but still different. Mag is something that you know that you like it, right? You like watermelon, for example, right? So there is a difference between, and of course, moment. Sorry for interruption. Yeah, I would like to, and I like to. Right? These two are quite similar, but still there is a difference. I would like to means you have a choice, and out of them you are saying that this is something that I like the most. Yeah, something I wanted to make would bana nahi. You have many choice, but you wanted to take up this option. However, if somebody uses I like to, that means you don't have many options. You simply say that I like to eat mango. Right? And I would like to eat means you probably are looking at a spicy carter, that is a menu of a hotel, and there are so many choices, and you picked out gajar ka halwa. And you say, I would like to eat gajar ka halwa out of some other halwas. Right? So accordingly, if you would have to you have to use this would like to, in that case you would rather use möchten. Möchten. And if you don't have any choice, then you would use mag or mögen. Right? Okay. Now again, just a minute. अभी तक Fragen dazu?
Nein.
Nine.
So I have a question. In the conjugation, most of the time, z, wir, their forms are same. For EZS, we have it in the same line. But I always see that wir and Z, they are not in the same line. Is there any case that they are different?
Wir
And Z, last one.
Actually, wir is always the infinitive form. Right?
But Z is also always infinitive form.
Yes. In most of the cases, you'll find, I really could not recall any difference. But to the best of my information, Z is also in the infinitive, but there is again a Z here also. Right? Which is simply she.
Yeah.
So, ये थोड़ा सा confusing part आ जाता है because अगर Z first character है line का and there is only one or two characters words ahead, so you are literally confused कि ये क्या बताना चाह रहा है, कौन सा conjugation use करना है. However, in most of the cases you will find Z and Z, they are always in infinitive. I would rather मैं इसको लिख के थोड़ा सा research करूँगा in case if there is any exception. I believe irregular verbs में ये follow नहीं होगा. Right? Let me quickly check it out in internet. Unregelmäßig. M-A-S-I-G Verben. Konjugieren. Unregelmäßige Verben konjugieren. Can take an example. Unregelmäßig Beispiel. I need to check. Yes, here it is. ठीक है, ये थोड़ा सा I will check it out, but to the best of my information, I think कि ये जितने भी Z and Z forms होते हैं, they follow the infinitive ones. Definitely unregelmäßig में ये follow नहीं होगा for sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so थोड़ी सी एक्सरसाइज और करेंगे, then we'll be done for the day. Actually, today was Friday and I thought कि I will keep the session light without much of grammar, and that's why first 30 minutes we only did our speaking and listening practice. A few more examples, then we'll make it close for the day. Okay, now moment. We would like to swim. Think upon it. Anybody can answer. We would like to swim.
Wir möchten.
Wir möchten schwimmen.
Yes.
Wir
Wir
möchten schwimmen.
möchten. There is an umlaut, so it has to be möchten. Okay. And what about they want to swim? Somebody else. They want to swim.
Sie möchten schwimmen.
They want to. No?
They want to. Okay.
It will be. I think it will be wollen.
Yes. So because they want to, they have a confirmed thought in mind that they wish. It's not only their wish; it's their actually they want to do it, right? Also, then one example I would like to give, one more practical instance that I faced myself. Once it so happened that there was a door and it was like this and I had a key, right? And somebody told me that please try this key in the door if it works out or not, and I tried it and it did not work. So it was like I was not you can say permitted, or my key did not work here, because that was an electronic key, no? It's a transponder, it's not a mechanical key, and when I touched upon that door it did not open. So that means electronically it was stopped, or it was not allowed. So in this case also, ich darf nicht NICHT eintreten. Eintreten means to go inside. Okay, maybe word for the day, eintreten. So it's in this case also, I mean, you could have framed this sentence in simple German like I am not allowed to enter, and that would have been ich bin nicht erlaubt. Erlaubt ist erlauben is permission. Okay, ich bin nicht erlaubt zum eintreten. So in simple German it would have been like this: ich bin nicht erlaubt zum eintreten. We will go later on what this Zoom and all this stuff is, but for now I would want you to focus upon this part of this grammar, that ich bin nicht erlaubt. It's a complete, transliteration of what happened. However, only for this word, bin nicht erlaubt, you can straight away use ich darf nicht. Simple, right? So make sure that whenever there is any permission or some sort of allowance in the picture, in the scenario, then you can straight away use dürfen or any conjugation of darf. Okay. Then let's say it's me and I am talking to everybody in this class. And here, think upon the formal, informal, and everything. And I am telling you, can you all swim? Then think upon it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be kannst du alle schwimmen?
Remember, when you are speaking do, right?
Okay.
Do
Okay,
is
yeah.
one-to-one, right? Now this time what's happening, it's me as a learner. I'm asking you people, maybe fourth person is also there. So I'm talking to a group of people and I'm talking in an informal scenario, right? Maybe at this point of time I may be a senior to my students or something like that. So it's me who is asking you guys. So which form of verb should be used and
Ihr?
why?
Can't.
Yes, ear cunt, right? Because ear, we use it when we are talking to a group of people who are of the same age in informal group, right? Ear cunt. And then, Entschuldigung. Let's say she must visit doctor. Now think somebody else who did not answer last time. Please try this. She must visit doctor. So what form of must or müssen or whatever I should use here?
Sie muss visit doctor. Yeah.
Sie
Visit office.
no, just tell me the verb only, that's all.
Yeah.
Sie muss.
Sie
na?
muss.
Yeah, it's muss.
Yeah.
Simple muss, right? No.
Okay. Muss.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I would ask the other two people, including Karthik and Shivendra. Once again, I'm a let's say I'm a judge of or maybe superintendent of police or something very high, and I'm talking to a group of people who are roaming around in the market, right? So maybe I'm kind of a senior to everybody. So let's say if I want to ask them what you people want, or maybe what do you people want, right? So Karthik, can you tell me how should I ask? Just tell me which form of verb I should use here. Just to repeat,
Yeah.
I am a senior. I'm talking to a group of people who are maybe junior to me.
Yeah, so it will be was wollt ihr?
100%. Was wollt ihr, right? Make sure, because here you have to give some extra weightage to your own character. You could have asked was möchten Sie or was wollen Sie auch, but here, because you are a superintendent of police or you are a judge and you are having some power, no? So accordingly you have to give some you have to use wollt here. Okay. And then a question for Shivendra now. And for this moment. Um, let's say I have I am very bad at drawing, but let's say this is my car. Um, Here is a steering wheel, and I am very angry. It's not working at all, right? So I will speak out. It must start, right? It must start. So think upon it. What type of verb should I use?
Es muss anfangen.
Yes, es muss starten also will work, or anfangen, or klappen, or there are many verbs. But you are absolutely right. Es muss, and make sure here you have to write s also, because this car is das Auto, right? And in case if there was, let's say, something, any other thing, any, let's say, newspaper or something which is d, then you have to say z, muss, and whatever it may be, right? So you have to take care of two things. One is which person you are talking to. I mean, you are talking to a group of people, or you're talking to something which is just lying around, or what is the actual scenario wherein you are interacting right now. So you have to take care of this character. Apart from that, you also have to take the consideration which conjugation you have to use. No? So that's most important. So I think we are uh, invariably done for the day. This poster, this photo will be the homework for the day. And on Monday, we will be next interacting directly on Monday. I would request everybody to please go through the 5 or 6 homeworks that we did in the last week. And we will be now in a position to even unterhalt, that is, interact with each other. So more and more interactive sessions will be held from Monday onwards, and along with it, we'll also go with some more grammar and some more, polished German. So I think that's all for today. As usual, Fragen dazu.
Nein.
Nein.
Nein, alles klar.
Perfect.
Alles gut.
Okay, vierte. Ishita, bist du da?
Nein.
Okay, alles klar. Okay, dann vielen Dank und wünsche euch schönes Wochenende.
Schönes Wochenende. Danke schön.
Schönes Wochenende. Danke.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Mhm. फिर से आ गया पानी ना? हाँ हाँ